Alrighty, the number is out, and you can see it's had an effect on the stock market. It's made a little pop there, but it's stalling out as usual. That's what it does nowadays. It just stalls out. There doesn't seem to be enough push or action. I don't know how you describe it exactly, but whoop, let's kill that volume. There we are. Skip. There we are. So yeah, we're not really seeing the the marketplace overall is having a problem. Let's kill this volume here. There we are. Yeah, it just doesn't have that oomph. There's not a lot of follow through anymore. Obviously, there's a lot of weight on the market. So at this point in time, it says to me that the market's having a hard time, seeing good news and buying on it. They really are. It is really having a hard time doing that. As you can see, we made a quick high as soon as the numbers came out. The PPI came out. The wholesale prices were down, and slower inflation, so forth and so on. But this good news, normally, let's say a couple of weeks ago, before the collapse of some of these regional banks, would have driven the market up. I mean, they would have been in there buying. They would have been like, okay, this is good. Life is a-okay type of attitude. Instead, now you can see it here. They gapped it up on the good news, so it was down 0.5 actual versus unchanged. In March, PPI year over year was 2.7 plus versus an estimated 3. That would have normally driven the market very firm and very up. They would have been like, okay, the world is in great shape. Hey, Metho. Hey, Robin. But instead, we're not getting that. We're just not getting that action. The level of buying and so forth is just very anemic at this point. And it's very hard for the markets to even get into action. There is obviously way more pressure on this market in the last I want to say the last couple days. It's like a reality check or something going on. It really is. They cannot get their legs going, as you can see here. You can see right there. There's the spike from it. There it is right there. And the market doesn't care. They're using it as an excuse to take a profit. Let me take a sip of tea here. So it's a warning sign. Definitely a warning sign. Because if they don't go and take out the highs of, say, just yesterday itself, over the next couple of days, it says to me that there is some real problems in this market, and we may be starting to see sell in May and go away. That's exactly what we may be seeing at this point. So that is, let's see, how else can we describe it? I guess that's about it. And you can see there, let's get that fixed there. You can see there the dollar, it sees it, and the pairs trade, is backing off, but it just isn't happening. It just is not happening. We're just not getting the, like I said, we're just not getting that strength that you would have thought the last 2 days of numbers. And you know what the problem really is? And I hate to say it like I'm whispering like Joe Biden. Problem is that the Biden administration and the people in it are just flat out lying about things all the time that are so obvious to our face. So here we see numbers that are very positive, and it's coming from people who've been lying, literally lying, like, inflation is transitory, don't worry about it, or the regional banks getting beat up enormously and going under, and they keep on telling us that the banking system is fine, and I think that's what the problem is that the confidence level at this point in time is really disappearing. It is really disappearing, and we need to see this market, the stocks, start to lift and actually have some that will show us confidence in the economic numbers. It'll show us confidence in that money can trust BLS statistics, in other words, Bureau of Labor statistics, that it means something more than just a few words. And that is exactly what the issue is all about at this point. It is it's become very disappointing to watch this. I guess what it is, watch these people. Like yesterday, the Fed let out its minutes, and they were speaking ahead of it. They were constantly talking ahead of it. Different Fed members who have been incredibly bad at predicting future events. That's the amazing part, is they've been so bad at predicting future events. When they come out and they say positive things, it's like maybe they're right. Maybe they're honest. Maybe they're not. In other words, it is literally, that's the problem. That is the problem. And that's where we stand at the moment. We just don't trust them anymore. And because we don't trust them, when you see stats like this coming out now and you see the pop and then it's over with, it's like the Janos videos that he was working on and showing us that basically, it just doesn't matter anymore. It just doesn't matter. And that's what the problem is. We don't trust the system, and it's broken. And if that becomes systemic, and people start to believe that, then we're really going to have problems when it comes to the values of things. We're going to be like, it basically will really start. You'll feel it. You'll see it in the currencies. You'll see it more in the stocks across the planet and so forth, where they've lost confidence in investing. They'll pull back. What they'll do is they'll protect themselves. That's what it really comes down to, is they'll start to protect themselves. And that's where I know that's a rough way to start the morning off in a conversation, but that news, the last 2 days' news, should have had this stock market roaring. And in other words, and what I mean by roaring, the Dow should be up about 600-700 points overall for the last 3 days, and it's not. It's basically down. And the S&P 500 is. Let's go to the S&P 500 right here. There's the dollar index. You can see at its lows, and you can see here the S&P. There is Monday. There's Tuesday. This is Wednesday. Now there's Thursday, and you can see, this is where it closed, and we are just underneath it, and they took it up, and now it just cannot get any legs on the upside. There just isn't any buying whatsoever. So that's what it really comes down to at this point, is that we have to wonder what's the next shoe to drop in this market. In other words, and from that will be the currencies, in the sense that we'll see the pain in that too at the same time. So that is where we're at, and you can see it here. We're going down, not up. It does not have the hunger to go up. That's the problem. And so that's basically where we stand at the moment. That is where we stand. Let's see, just double checking something. And so and then we got the debt ceiling problem. The president refuses to talk about it. He refuses to even get involved in it. And the Congress, luckily, we have adults there, so they'll be able to control it. They're going to be able to influence what's going on, and it'll be great. In other words, they can say, okay, we're paying the bonds, but we're not giving you any other money to spend, and that will be the nature of it all in the end. That's exactly how it'll play. They'll be like, all right, and that means less spending, and that means less inflation, and that is really what we're really looking for at the moment, is just less spending and less government noise, because of the amount of aggressiveness that's going on with the the way they spend money, they're taking enormous amounts of tax money in, and they're refusing to basically do anything about it. In other words, they're just not they're not buying. Basically, that's what it comes down to. They're just not buying. So, anyhow, all right, let's go around and look. I've gotten my opinion out in the sense that that's where my head is at. I just wanted everybody to understand it. And let's get rolling along here. Let me just double check a few things. There we are. And let's take a look at, there's the, wrong button. There's the dollar index. You can see it. It's down. It's been moving down. And the same thing over here. Right there. That's the S&P. Let's put the dollar index back on there again. Bump, 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 bump. Right there. And as we see, it's pressing down. The strength is, what's the best way to describe it? The strength is, slow. It's a slow, steady burn. I guess what they're going to do is somewhere along the line they're going to go challenge the par. And I heard someone yesterday say, somebody I trust, someone Robin and I both traded around on the floors, and he said that they're playing with technical support areas that are very important. That's how they're looking at it. Technical support areas that are very important. And so that's where we're at the moment. That's exactly where we're at. So from there, we go over to the euro. Let's take a look at the euro. See what the euro is up to. It's very strong today. Again, like yesterday, went into the buy a couple days ago, or I guess it was yesterday went into the buy. Let's put the euro up on the screen right there. And right there, you can see that the euro is very firm. We expect to see the dollar index make some challenges down in the 1 point somethings, 1.4, 1.3, I don't know, something like that. And if we don't start seeing some real buying by institutions and so forth here, and they keep on sitting on their hands, then we're going to start having a problem with the support in the dollar, which is not. I think the dollar should be trading at 9.96. That's me. So I don't have anything particular to point at. More than the fact that I think that's where we should be, and so we'll watch the action, see how it plays, and go from there. That's pretty much what it comes down to in the end. So, alrighty, let's see, what do we got from there? From there, we go on to the cable. Let's see what the cable's up to. Right there. Someone's on there right now on the news. The representative from Pennsylvania saying that the administration has wasted $6 trillion in wasteful spending. $6 trillion, not billion, trillion. That's why we have a problem here in the States, and why the markets are so choppy and sideways. And they're just shaking their heads and they're saying, "Is this real? Is this really real? This is our world now." There we are. And so that is it where we're seeing this action here. What else can we point out? Oh, here we go. They're saying all the energy prices dropped, just short term. We saw a good drop. Next month it's going to be a rise. We know that. So the people who calculate this stuff in the financial industry are going to go, we're going to see a rise. And that's really what's going to start happening, is we will see a rise. So, alrighty, from there, where we go from there? We go to the cable right there, and there's the cable, and you see the same thing, strength. It went into the buy yesterday right there. It's moving up. We're in those weekly buys, just like we are in the euro. Same situation. And you can see the pressure here on the daily here on the British pound. Same thing on J4X. We got a second day of a green, and we're through the zero line. So it's telling us that there is strength in there. All right, and then from there, there we go. That's good. Excellent. Now we're getting a little pop here. I'll just show you what I just saw. I put a what they call, I think they call it a zebra, an option spread on. Just as they sold the thing down from 37, when they peaked it and down to here, I put a zebra on. It's an option spread. It's a delta neutral, and right now it's making it's making about it's making. Let's put it that way. All right, because I'm saying if it doesn't go up, it'll go down. We used to say that on the trading floor. Hey, if it doesn't go up, it probably will go down. And if it doesn't go down, I bet it goes up. Yeah, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, from there we go over to the Swiss, see what the Swiss is doing, which I expect to see it making some really good moves still. It seems like they've got that banking issue all resolved over there. And so I kind of expect to see that trade down lower and lower and lower. It's just right there. You can see, yep, there it is. We were talking about the high 80s. This move was going to give us the high 80s. And I think I started talking about it right here. Then we went to the buy for a day and back in there, and I said that yesterday. We'll see the high 80s somewhere, like 88.70 or 88.60 or 88.80, and here we are, 88.95, and today's low is 88.81. So, okay, we got what we're looking for here. Now, it'll take a lot more work to bring it down. I guess we need to see the dollar index break the century mark, the 1.0. And, just for a quick look, let's just take a look again where the dollar index is on J4X. We won't get too locked up into it, but I think that there's going to be a lot of fun for that. Yeah, there you go. We're breaking the 101, so we're at par 85 now. Okay, so I expect to see that thing get down near the par, the 100 itself. All right, and then back over here we'll go to the yen now. There we are. And the yen finally starting to roll over. We were expecting to see it do that. It's trading definitely different from the rest of the pairs at this point, but kind of lagging the pairs. Maybe we'll see. You can see the slope. I guess a lot of people, they're very technical on the yen more than many other products. Let me see if we can get a line on there. So they're probably looking at something like this. And it didn't take out that, so more than likely it'll probably break that when we do get into the sell. And we're in the weekly sell here, so we would expect to see the yen move down a little bit more. In other words, gain against the dollar. And so, that is the action we're seeing. All right, from there, let's see. Oh, and let's put it up on J4X too. There we are. You can see here that fast-moving stochastic has moved through. Wait, was that? That was yesterday. No, that is today. And you can see at the same time we've got that red there. So we'll keep an eye on Mr. and Mrs. Yen, the Yen family. Now from there, we inch our way over to what I always think about is like it's the laboratory, it's the experiment, watching the experiment live, and that is the Turkish lira. They came out with some really great, information, and that information was 28. Excellent. Okay, and so that information was that. What was that information? That they found natural gas in the Black Sea. And it was like, ooh, cool. And so they believe they found something like 20 years of natural gas. They're always wrong when they do these estimates. They go a little bit deeper, they find more. They'll find more as time goes on, pockets here and pockets there. But so what we're really seeing now is that there's great opportunity for the right stewardship, to get that country out of this situation. I mean, we're looking at a currency that's gone from $1 to 1 lira to $1 to 21 lira over a 10-year period under the stewardship of the prime minister and now the president. So it's like a devaluing game going on, trying to devalue the currency to increase economic activity. A lot of times that doesn't work, and that's what the problem is that we need to see something like that work. Devaluing a currency in such a dramatic form is like an earthquake. It's like a tornado. It's to go from 1 to 20 or 21. So right now, what we really need to see is we need to see that type of action clean itself up and get going. And some good economic policies and less President Biden type activity when it comes to Turkey. All right. From there, we slide over to, God, who would want to be compared to Biden? I don't know. We go over to, where are we headed to? All right, so we go to the two currencies that will reflect, I would imagine we're going to see it, and that is the Canadian should be heading down with no problem. It went into a sell, I think, yesterday. Yeah, 2 days ago it went into the sell there. But the Canadian today should be moving down solely because oil is moving up. And I don't know where all the other lines got to, but the end result is that, let's put the buy in there. Let's steal one of these buys since it's all screwy anyway. There's the buy. And then there was the sell right there. Was that the sell? No. Then it went into a buy again. It was really choppy. It went into a buy there. And then went back into a sell 2 days later right there. There we are. Talk about confusion, And what we have here now is that, everything is pushed down, heading down, which means obviously that the energy sector is going to be moving up. So we go over and we look at that. Wrong place. Right there. There is the front month oil. Was higher this morning. It started off higher, and that's getting ready to expire. Let's take a look at the back month. Back month looks the same way. I saw it in the 83s at one point. The front month there, the back month was 82.82, and I think the front month was like 83 and change. 83.44, and it's trading basically 60 cents down now. And that kind of makes some sense why, when we see the Canadian here, it's heading down. And then we look at the Canadian over here. Where is it? Over here. There it is. We see, let's put the Canadian in there. It's going to be red heading down also. See it? The pressure and the line through. And so that means higher energy prices. And I'm looking forward to when we get to the energy side of this to take a look and see where my favorite stock in Europe is. And that's that energy company down in Spain. You would think I'd have it on one of my screens, but I don't. Let's see. And then from there we go to the gold. And there, do you see this? That there. Now, I did see gold this morning up really strong. One of the highs for a while now. And so you can see this aiming down. You got to assume instantly that gold is zooming up. And let's put gold up on J4X. Right there. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that 44 and change, 45, something like that. It's really zipping along. You can see it there. Look at that. They're reaching. That says that they're still nervous about inflation. We'll take a look at it over here. Yeah, look at that. The futures contract is up to 58.20 now. So this has got some premium in it. So it's trading at 20.59. What's the high today? We're looking at new highs as we speak. Just made new highs at 59.3. And so they're putting some pressure into this. Went into that buy a couple days ago. Been in that strong weekly buy now for weeks, months now. You can say actually since the beginning of March. Now we are in the middle of April. and it's basically the same distance. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, going on 6 weeks of buying now, and you can see the fast joined in just a little bit more, but they worked together really well. I mean, in other words, they were both very firm, lifting together in the same week, getting through the top part of the manifold here. It was like, wow. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Hey, Metho, what's cooking? Gold, baby, gold. That's right. And natural gas and gold, that's what you do. That's the thing you do. That thing you do. Exactly. That's cool. It's that thing you do. Good for you. I like that. I like that. Good for you. All right. And silver, I'm sure, Robin and I were talking about it after, would you believe, like, after the close even, Robin and I were talking about the silver. It's like, I said to him, it's playing catch up. I've been saying this on the webinars for a while now. We're playing catch up in silver. It's trying to catch up to gold. It's got to do something like that. In other words, gold could be hitting all-time highs in 2 or 3 weeks accidentally. I think the all-time high is like 2,200 and change. And so, here we are trading, the front month. The front month is almost trading at, what is it now? It's sitting there in the 2258 area. So, I mean, 150 more points. If there's some real breakdown in economy still, I mean, Joe Biden is really stumbling and bumbling. He refuses to even talk about the debt ceiling at all. Zero. He won't even talk to the Congress who writes the checks. In other words, you want money, you got to go to the people who have the money. And the House of Representatives is the one that spends the money. It has it. And so a lot of times they go along with the president and they give the president what he wants. But this time, since he's spent $6 trillion in the last 2 years already, they said no mas, no more. They're saying, oh, is that 60? No. And so, that will put a shakeup into the metals complex if it turns out to that. Now, I understand that this is they've been doing, I don't want to call it tricks. They've been doing, smart things to pay the money right now to bondholders, U.S. bondholders. And we could go as far all the way up there. The June is not a deadline. We could go into late July, even early August, before there's a real fist fight of the whole situation. So that's where we are at the moment. All right, from there, let's jump over to, there's gold. Let's go over to, let's see, where's the South African Rand? Let's put we did show you the South African Rand. Let's just show it to you on J4X. Right there. You can see that red and the pressure doing the same thing. So that's a good thing there, that it's actually trading right. Metho says, maybe the COMEX have no real silver. Maybe there are stones. Well, they're all, we know that. Rob and I were talking about that yesterday. I put a report up there. I showed it to you all. I showed it to you about a month ago, where they were talking about the deposits in the vaults, and they call it gold warrants and silver warrants. What it is, it's not the physical gold anymore. It's a warrant. It's a piece of paper that says that it's backed by gold or silver in another place altogether. They call them warrants. And so the vaults are pretty empty. When it comes to, before quantitative easing, on average, everybody watched the amount of metal in the vaults, and they used to put that ratio out every week and every month. They would pay attention to it, and it would be like, for every future contract, there was 9.9 ounces of gold, or it was almost 1-to-1, and then it got to like 101, 1.02, and things like that. Then during quantitative easing and the panic towards metals, it got to 3-to-1. And then I remember I stopped watching when it got to 1,000-to-1. And that was what? That was like during the Janash years, when Janash was on doing webinars here back in the, 2018, 2019. We would do a joint webinar on Wednesdays together. Janash is a Canadian trader, and then he moved to Thailand to be able to have access to see what China was doing and so forth. And it was that type of thing, and he's like a CFA up in Canada, certified financial advisor, and with credentials, the whole bit. And Janash and I would do these webinars, and I remember saying to him, I stopped paying attention to it now. It's over 1,000. So for every 1,000 ounces of gold traded on the exchange, there's only 1 ounce of gold sitting in the vault. And it was the same way with silver; it was getting whittled down. Now they call them warrants, gold warrants and silver warrants, and they try to pretend that it takes the place of the whole thing. Let's see, what's it? There is not enough silver to cover open longs. Yeah, not even close. Exactly. Thank you, Robin. That's exactly true. It's just the actual silver itself and gold in the vaults. Nah, it's not even there. That's why when you try to buy physical, it's trading at 30 some odd percent. Is that about right, Robin? Silver trades about 33, 34% higher than the actual futures price. Yeah. So, yeah, that's we showed the article on the webinar here one day, and we labeled it that too. There's gold. Gold's trading through the $2,060 area now, with a high of $2,060.80. Yeah, they're just look. And the stock market, we can say that it's trying to lift and act well. You can see that. You can see our work is trying to lift, but it still can't even take out the high of today. Maybe they'll get going later on. Maybe they'll say, okay, what the hey, and that's why I put a back spread on, which is, I thought that maybe there's a shot that there'll be after like the U.S. Open, there'll be a shot. And when they sold it down, I thought, let's do that. Did that without even you seeing me doing it on the webinar. And so that's where we stand with the metals complex. And you know what? We'll take a quick look at Mexican peso, and then we'll go right to silver. Just finish it off. And there's the peso. Peso's chilled out, just hanging out down there. No major jumps and jives. I think they've walked away from the bricks myself. We'll see. I think that was what that noise was all about. All right. From there, we'll go down to silver. Not there. There's silver there. And I'm going to just do this for traders. I'm going to throw the Mexican peso up on the on J4X real quick just to show you that slow, steady grind down, just like our work. And the green line busted for a while now here through the dash line. Now let's get silver up on the screen. And there it is. Trading. It's got to get to that 26 soon. I imagine they'll get it to go. I got a high now today of 26.01. Now, I would think we'll... I don't know. I want to say what my heart says, but I would like to say maybe we'll see 36. I don't know, but I doubt it. I just don't have any confidence in the metals complex. It's sad. I'm sad. I'm really sad that I don't. I wish I did, but I don't. I don't have any confidence in the metals complex. I really believe that they will only let it go so much. And you have to imagine, right now we're seeing strength in the metals market when inflation is going down. So this is definitely not inflationary hedging by institutions. This is something else going on. There's no doubt about that. This is a new vein that's opened up. And that's that's more concerning. Oh, what's it? The Metho says 1 ounce of gold to 1,100 euros. 1 ounce of gold to 1,100 euros. Oh, I see what you're saying. So, no, isn't it more than that? Isn't it like 1,800 euros? Because the euro is trading at 10. Where's the euro at? 110, basically, right? So 1.110 divided into 2060 equals, oh, I guess I got to go the other way around. So it's 2060 divided by 1.110. Yeah, 18. Yeah, it's like 1872. That's what it is. 1872. That makes more sense. Ah, okay, and then so euro against, I guess, euro dollar, right? Pair of euros against a dollar, or is this a ratio that you figure out the euro against gold itself? Is that what that is? Is there a historic number, I guess, you paid attention to over time? The price of gold in euros? Is that what it is? And so it's an actual, there's no dollar translation in between the two? Ah, okay. Yeah, but that was what their job is. We've explained that here many a time, and that is that, these incorporations of these funds force them to do so, or the funds would have had to liquidate equity, and that's something that they didn't want to see because pension funds are connected to it, and that would put them into a even deeper quagmire, a deeper problem. All right. From there, we'll take a look at copper, see what the copper's doing this morning. It's been in a daily buy for 4 days now, and the weekly has been screaming all week long, and so they're lifting this thing up. 2015. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that makes total sense. Excuse my sip of tea. All right, and from there, we go over to the platinum. Platinum showed us the truth yesterday. Let's see what they're doing to the poor thing today. Yeah, that's odd. It went into the buy yesterday, and that's all messed up. Let's see if we can fix that by just changing the time frame. The not time, the data feed. There we go. Let's go to 17. See if that does it. No, that didn't do it. Let's try going to the exchange symbol, the exchange feed itself, and see if that'll do it. COMEX. Is it in COMEX or is it in NYMEX? I think it's NYMEX electronic. Still not. Anyway, yesterday went into a buy. Let me just open up yesterday's numbers there. Where is it at here? Here we go. We're going to put this up on the screen. Close that. Yeah, there it is. There he's there yesterday. We were in a buy yesterday. We closed in that buy yesterday. So, it is showing the strength today. And that was fun. This morning it was like that, right? So let me go fix that because I'm going to need that today. See, platinum. Which platinum is that? That's July, right? So we can get rid of the, delete that symbol. Yes. And let's fix that. Load. And let me put it up, go to the exchange side of this now. Let's see. Metho says, with the CFD, I am range trading the metals. Now I start range trading the volatility. Yeah. Well, you've been buying it and buying it. I know you were buying it and buying it and buying it. And then same thing with natural gas. You've been buying it, buying it, buying it. So, make hay when the sun shines. In other words, when it goes up, take those profits. That's the whole idea. If many a year, I would say here on Dukascopy, on the website here, in the webinars, I'd say if you have a profit in something, and if you don't sell it or take it off when you have a profit, the next time you're taking it off is when you have a loss. And so that's an important thing, to recognize when you have profits and take them. And that's the most important thing. Don't sit there and say, well, I think it's going to go to X. Take a little off. Make a little less profit. It's all right. It won't hurt you any. Now, what is the problem here with platinum? There it is right there. July. There we go. Yeah, so yesterday, let's fix this. Let's see, what is that? That's the 12th. So let's fix the 12th. And there we go. There we go. what was the settlement yesterday? 27 and change. Okay, so that's fine. So we'll go like that. And then we'll go with like that. And then we'll just change the, go to 724.7. There it is. That fixes it. There we go. So you can see here, platinum has joined in. The machine restarted itself this morning. There we go. I wiped out some things that I didn't save. So it went into the buy there yesterday. I thought that was really prolific, that it was taking off. Now we're going after the $1,100 area. No, it's $10.50 area. We still have to get, let's move this over. You can see it got up over 1,100 back in January. So let's see if it goes after that over the next couple of days, because it's already made $50 in 2 days. So see if this whatever's going on, whatever buying we're seeing in the metals complex seems to be coming from a new direction. That's my opinion. How do I rationalize that? Here we go. Let's see. Slow buying. Now I start trading the volatility. Okay, slow buying. Average down and average up. It's a never-ending story. It really is. If you do it, what I like to call responsibly, without a doubt, it is. I totally agree with you. I used to do that with options. I used to trade thousands and thousands of options a day, thousands, tens of thousands of options a day, and buying back month low vol, selling front month high vol, doing it in a straddle form, with delta, the whole bit. Yep, I hear you. And just it was a never-ending battle, and then moving my delta around with a hard delta with the underlying product. Retail trades aren't in yet. Right, exactly. That's what I'm thinking about. Why I put a bull spread on in the stock market. I was thinking that once they see this number, maybe what they'll do is they'll jack us up into the 40s. And the fact that they couldn't, the institutions wouldn't do it this morning, says to me it's going to take the retail to join in. Because the numbers of the last 2 days have been fantastic when it comes to inflation, which tells me that gold should be going down, not up when seeing these inflation numbers. And that's why I believe we're seeing a new vein of investors coming into the metals complex. Retail traders aren't in yet. Yep, exactly. Thank you, Robin. I agree. And that's what I'm thinking there. Exactly. That's what I was thinking too. That's why I jumped on a spread like as soon as they sold it down 10 points. I put it on with the SPY at 28, or the SPU at 28. That is, not the SPY. And it's not much higher now. You can see it right there. It's only trading at 32. But the bull spread is so sensitive; it makes money very fast. What else do we got going on here? I guess we jump over to where do we go? Go to the metal. So we just finished off the metals complex, right there with the platinum. And so when I went like this, we looked at it. Back in January, we saw platinum challenging 1,100. So we got to wonder, are we going to see that? Now let's take a look at silver. Let's go back to silver and see where silver was in that same time frame. Where was silver in January? Silver was trading in the 24 area. So it's already blown through that. So when we shrink this down a little bit like that and move it over a little bit like that, silver's coming off some really incredible lows. And it's taken out that area altogether and making a threat to the 26. And over here, let's put silver up on J4X. Right there. And squeeze it into a weekly and see when's the last time we were here in that range? Last time we were in the 26s was in the second quarter of 2021. What was the high here? The high there was 24. So that's what we're really looking at is 2-year highs in the first quarter There's the fourth quarter. This is 22. The first quarter of 22. So we're looking at a 1 year high. We're looking to see if they're going to take out the 1 year high. Now let's do that same thing to gold. There's gold. And we're going after. That's what we're doing right now. Is we're really starting to go after the the 1 year high. We're going after gold right now in the 1 year high, and I imagine that's what the traders are trying to do with silver too. They're starting to say, maybe we should be long here. Like I said, I don't think this is institutional. Like, oh, I'm a fund manager, I better buy some gold. Something else is going on here, and it's because of what I'm suggesting. Their manifesto says sell gold when inflation goes down. It doesn't say to buy gold. So if they're buying, they're not buying against their they're not buying to hedge. Let me find the right words here. They're not buying. Fund managers are not buying because they would be selling to follow the rules of their fund. Okay, so if they're buying, fund managers are buying because they're seeing it as an investment now, not a hedge, an investment. They're thinking that it's undervalued. That's what's going on here. That's who's buying it right now. It will go parabolic when they do get in. Oh yeah. Basically, I agree with you. That's true, Robin. I agree. All right, and I would love to see silver catch up to gold. I mean, I can see this now. Basically, like 27 is catching up to gold right now. If gold would silver. If silver would run up to 2650, 2670, 2680, and gold kind of goes sideways for a couple of days, that would put it catching up to last year's highs. That would do that. And then the gold ratio to silver has been so out of whack. Oh, Biden spoke. From here, we're going to go over to the energy sector. Yeah, so you can see right there, crude is hanging out back over the 83 area. And then you can see here that it's trading at a 50 some odd cent discount the back months now. So there's real demand up front. They're really reaching for this stuff. I guess supply is coming around the corner and it's needed. And so I guess we're going to be seeing that type of action go on. Let's put Brent up on J4X. And there it is right there. There's Brent. And Brent has moved up into the 87 area. You see that strength kicking out again. It showed the sideways action here by going underneath, the green line going underneath, but it never turned red. And without it turning red, there was no reason to even think about selling anything. And then it's turned back up again. So definite front month demand. From there, we'll go over to West Texas Intermediate that we're watching over here. You see that right there, doing that strength thing. And you can see it's trading over the 83 area right now, bid over 83 in the front month. And let me just put the front month, that's the back month. Where's that, Mr. Mouse? Right there. And so you see that strength right there, trading the same as on J4X there. And then we go over to Nat Gas, right there. And you see Nat Gas is trying to go into a sell today after that nice little pop. That's what happens with a weekly sell. You're in a weekly sell, it tries to get going, and it just, at least, back here, the fast algorithm on the weekly jumped up into the buy. We were in a daily buy. We knew that there was strength there, okay? And we saw the green, the slow moving algorithm through the manifold and, really threatening, But they peaked it out And I was thinking of you, Metho, because you've been buying and averaging on this stuff so much. And, and then it just rolled over again and made more new lows. And so, unfortunately, it's not translated to over in Europe. So let's throw up on J4X. We'll show you the Nat Gas right there. Trading at $2 and it was at $2.07. That's not $2.70. It's $2.07. Bid at $2.6.67, almost 7 cents. And it's like it's not even. It would feel a little bit better if it was $2.70 at least, but it's $2.07. I feel sad. I'm not laughing like funny ha ha. It's like, ow, that hurts. Ow. So then what we do is we go over to Spain and we take a look at this energy company there that really reflects well on the energy sector and the natural gas stock that they have right here. I'm going to push the button. Let's hope it's under 28. 28.65. It's been sitting in the middle of the range. So it's not doing any, and that makes it about $28 a cubic foot in Europe. So that makes it even worse, because people are paying an incredible amount of money for natural gas. All right, let's see, what do we got here? That pretty much does the whole energy gig. And now we'll go take a look at the stock markets. Let's see if they're reaching for the Russell 2000 today. Remember, they were doing some positive stuff there. Then yesterday they drove it down, and it's trying to lift up again. I put a bull spread on, and that's why I've got an S&P bull spread on to match up to it, to help it out. Because it's basically right where I put the bull spread on. It's like, come on, get life in you. And you can see the weeklies right there. I'm trying to jump ahead of the curve. I got the weekly looking like it wants to close in a buy for tomorrow. And we got the fast above, and I'm thinking this is going to take off, and we're not seeing it. And that's a very speculative. It's a very speculative tool. The Russell 2000. They're low caps. Penny stocks almost in essence, in some ways, but not. They're legitimate companies. They have income or gross. Capitalization of a couple $1 billion down to like 500 million or something like that. So we keep on looking at this, thinking, okay, yeah, this is going to get going, and then we can say that the markets are going to be less nervous, but they're obviously nervous. Matter of fact, that's a Head and Shoulders, and is it trying to tell us more that that's a top than it is a bottom at this point? It seems like it in many ways. It did a Head and Shoulders there, and then found a way to climb, and then it did a Head and Shoulders there and found a way to climb, and now it's doing a Head and Shoulders, and I've thought, maybe it will do it again. Third time's a charm. So a bull spread with a month going out should do us all right, and it's unchanged. It's okay, but it's not the instant gratification I want. So. All right, now from there we'll go over to the S&P 500 again. There's the S&P 500, and it's got to do some work, because look how close it's going into a daily sell it is right here. We need this thing to get going today, and we're in the weekly buy with no problem. And we'll see if the retail comes in roaring at the beginning of the market today and gets it to go. The Tech 100, let's see what the Tech 100 is up to. I mean, it's telling us it's lifting too, but it fell into the sell yesterday. Right there. And so it needs to do some work to get going. Now, it's had a fantastic run from the 11,800, 700 area up to the 13,500 area, 300 area, that's it. So it's digesting a little bit, and then if they can get, let's take a look at a 5-year note. The 5-year note is right there. And it's trying to lift. You can see it's trying to lift. I mean, the news that's come out the last couple of days normally would make this stuff lift, but it's not lifting. Metho says, Russell 2000, I wait for 1650. Yeah, I hear you. It looks like it wants to go there too, and then average down and is starting. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking that we're gonna get into. I was thinking we were getting into a daily buy because I thought the numbers would be good this week, and they've been good. but we're not seeing it in the prices. So it's going to be one or the other. They're going to get it to go soon, like in the next couple hours, or they're going to roll over to your 1650, and I'll turn it into a butterfly, and then it'll have no effect, and then I can take the butterfly off, or turn it into a trapezoid instead of a bull spread. So, and then just join back in again. No, I hear you. I hear you. All right, Metho, let's see what else we got to look at. If we don't have anything else, I'm going to get out of here. So, traders, this is Doc from North America. And I will stop talking and answer a question if you ask. If not, okay. This is Doc from North America. Catch you guys all tomorrow on TGIF. So, happy trails to you until we meet again, which will be tomorrow at the end of the week. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Be safe, be smart.